Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Through online.Scott selections here for Saturday, November 26th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. Not much to go through, give it a look at play in the NFL. So check out the video if you want some NFL action on Sunday. Plus, do still have the college show with the three picks there given out a couple days ago. I think we ended up filming that on Wednesday. So either way, three more college football picks there. But going to give out another college football pick here in the Saturday video because we're going to be looking at a matchup between Kansas and Kansas State taking place at around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, going to lay the wood here with the home team. Going to take Kansas State minus 11 at minus 110 on Fox Bet. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like Kansas State in the spot. First reason, minus 11 is a phenomenal line. And you're just shopping around, you could find minus 12 on DraftKings and Bet Online. So you're saving a full point with no additional juice at all, which I'll gladly take to the bank. But to go through the recent form of each team, Kansas State in much better form as the Wildcats have won 3 of their last 4 games, and each of those 3 wins have been by at least 17 points. Meanwhile, Kansas has really been terrible lately as the Jayhawks have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and there's one common theme. The Jayhawks defensively have completely fallen apart as Kansas has allowed at least 35 points in each of those 5 games. So the point is, Kansas can't stop anybody, and Kansas State has been rolling lately offensively. I do think Kansas State should be able to put up a bunch of points at home in this matchup. And Kansas State is also motivated for this game. I know it is still a rivalry game, so you might argue that motivation is going to be there no matter what. But Kansas State does have a potential shot at making the conference title game. And in fact, it's pretty simple. If they win this game, they are in, and they have a matchup against TCU. So Kansas State should be fully motivated for this matchup, fully focused, and I do think that the Jayhawks are the far inferior team in this matchup. So the Wildcats should look pretty good over these 60 minutes. But to go through some of the defensive numbers that I alluded to for Kansas and Kansas State, Kansas is a lot worse at basically every single area. Kansas State is allowing just 371 total yards per game against FBS competition, which ranks 44th in the country. Meanwhile, Kansas is allowing 477.7 total yards per game against FBS competition, which is the 5th most in the nation. Going through last week's numbers, they gave up 55 to Texas, lost the game by 40 plus. Game was even a bigger blowout than that because Texas stopped trying and Kansas scored a couple of points there in garbage time. But Bijan Robinson ran all over them, and I believe Texas finished the game with 400 plus rushing yards. I'm not saying that Deuce Vaughn is as good as Bijan Robinson, but I am saying that Kansas State does have a lot of capable running backs who can definitely exploit this run defense. And they also have a good quarterback in Will Howard, who took over for Martinez midway through the year, but he's been very comfortable lately. And I do think that he has the weapons to also torch this Kansas secondary. In other words, I don't think Kansas is going to get many stops in this game, and I do think Kansas State can. Daniels was the quarterback for Kansas last week, who was very good earlier in the year, then got injured. He came back last week, was not great. He's going to probably play better than he did against Texas, but I do kind of question if he's fully healthy and if he's fully ready to face off against this very, very underrated defense. And I don't think he is. But I do think if you want to look at the recent meetings, yes, it is a rivalry, but one team has owned the rivalry, as Kansas State has won each of the last 13 meetings, and 10 of those 13 wins have been by at least 15 points. Now, I understand that Kansas is a lot better this year than they have been in years past, but I think we can agree that Kansas kind of overachieved in the early part of the year, which is why they are still going to a bowl game despite losing 5 of their last 6 games. The defense has been terrible. I really do like Leipold as a coach. I think he's very solid, but the talent just isn't really there. Kansas State is motivated. They're much more talented, and they've owned this team historically. I think Kansas State should win this game going away, but if you're going to give me 11, and they could easily win this game by 2 possessions, by 13 or 14, or even potentially in blowout fashion by 20-plus points, I wouldn't be surprised, but I do think that this number is a little bit short. So I will take the better team at home in this spot. So play that once again here for Saturday, November 26th. This is going to be on Kansas State minus 11 at minus 110 on Fox Bet. Bye, everyone.